everyone. First of all, thank you so much, Risky, for and Neosia Training Center for allowing 3D Connection this opportunity to present to all the students in Indonesia. So it's definitely my pleasure, and we really respect this decision to allow us on such a short notice. And before I even start, I would also like to thank all the students who have made their time to participate in this event. Now, I'm sure you're going to learn something which is very new to you. Okay, because I came to Indonesia, 3D Connection came to Indonesia just in January this year, and we met Risky and we expressed our interest to work with the students because we are very famous in Europe, in America, in China, in Japan. But when we look at the small countries like Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, in Philippines, or even India for that matter, the the awareness of the product is very low. So that is why we do a lot of student campaigns. And towards the end of this session, Yen, who is a marketing counterpart, is going to present a nice raffle competition for all the students out here. So without wasting much time, I'll just straight away jump into what a 3D connection or a SpaceMouse does. And so when you talk about 3D Connection, we are a company that manufactures only mouse. We make mouse for 3D application and mainly for CAD engineers. So if you are a CAD engineer, then our products are very useful. But if you're in banking sector or in insurance or an HR, then our products are not useful to you. So our products are mainly used only for engineers in the 3D design or the 2D design environment. Now, we partner with almost all the CAD applications. So we have almost 200 CAD applications like SolidWorks, Siemens, Onshape, AutoCAD. Uh, then we have ZWCAD, Rhino, and so on. So we participate or we partner with a lot of companies in which the integration of 3D connection is there. Now, to give you a brief about what 3D connection is, it is a very basic concept. It's a very basic concept of working with two hands. Okay, so what happens when you work with two hands is like three benefits you get. One is you get 6 degrees of freedom. Second is you can improve your productivity, and third is you become more ergonomic. So these are the three benefits of working with two hands, and that is exactly what we do with a 3D connection device. Now I'll just show you, before I get into the practicals of it, I'll just show you what exactly happens. So a two-handed workflow is basically what happens is, say, for example, I have let's say I have an apple. Okay, so let's say this is an apple. And if I have to peel an apple, what I do is you can see that I am using the peeler on one hand and the apple on one hand. Okay, so you can see that I work with two hands. And that is exactly what happens with a 3D connection device. You start working with two hands. With one hand, that is the left hand, you hold the product, and with the right hand, you apply commands. And that is the whole concept of 3D connection. So I will explain to you in CAD software how this works. Now, the other benefit of using 3D connection is also the ergonomics part of it. I will show you how the ergonomics work. Now, let me get straight into the software. I will just share NX. Risky, can you see NX?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So now look at this, everyone. So when I use my one hand and I use my normal mouse, okay, this is my normal mouse. What I do is this. Okay, I'm keeping my hand on my chin. So what I do is, you see this, with one hand, you can rotate the model, or you can zoom with the roller, or maybe you have to pan and stuff like that, right? So this is how you work with one hand. But when you use the space mouse, okay, so I'm going to hold this and work. So what happens is you can see how the model behaves. So now you see the model is behaving with 6 degree of freedom. So you have the zoom, pan, and rotation happening simultaneously. This is a very powerful feature and used by lots and lots of companies. There are millions of engineers in the professional world that are using the space mouse. So you see, this mouse is still here, and I'm still, without even pressing the button, you see, I'm still moving the model, and this model moves with all the 6 degree of freedom. You see that it is floating. It is really beautiful motion. You don't feel stressed. You can go where you want, and it is very quiet and very smooth. You see that? So this is what happens when you start working with a 3D connection device. So the model starts moving very fluid. Okay. Now imagine when you're building a house, when you're making a car, making furniture, irrespective of which software you're using, the navigation pattern of 3D connection remains the same. So now say example, if you're working in CATIA, you have to middle press and then rotate the model. When you're working in NX, it is like control and middle press and then move the model. And when you work in Creo, SolidWorks, it is something else. But with a 3D connection, this is how you move the model. So you zoom, pan, rotate, and do everything simultaneously. You see that? That's the beauty of working with a space mouse. And there are millions and millions of engineers across the world using SpaceMouse. All the big companies that you can talk about, like Toyota, Honda, Suzuki, Boeing, Airbus, you name it, JCB, they all use 3D connection during their design process. Now, it's very important to understand that we work with two mouse. Okay? We are not removing this mouse. This mouse will be on your right hand side, and this mouse is on your left hand side. So you're working with two mouse, right? So what is a function of the right hand mouse is just like what I explained to you earlier. So with the left hand, you're holding the model. So this model, the model of the car, is being held with the left hand. So if you look at it, this is the model. You see this knob? This is the model. If you lift it up, it goes up. If you push it down, it goes down. If you push it there, it goes there. If you push it here, it goes here. If you push it in, it goes in. If you pull it out, it comes out. If you rotate, it rotates. If you roll, it rolls. And if you tumble, it tumbles. So you see all the 6 degree of freedom that you learn in mechanical engineering is there inside this optical sensor. Okay, so that is where you control the model. You're holding this model with your hand. Okay, the same way how you're holding a potato while peeling, right? If this is a potato while peeling, you're holding the vegetable, and with this hand you put the command. So that is the same way that happens. So with the right hand, you put the command, you select all the edges. You see that how fast I'm able to do that without moving the mouse quite often. So that is where when you start working with two hands, you become more productive. That is the essence of working in a corporate environment. When you work with a company, you have to become very productive. And 3D connection is one mechanism using which you can be more productive. Okay. The second thing about using 3D connection is the ergonomics part of it. Okay, so when you work in CAD or you work in any software, your wrist starts paining, right? I'm sure your wrist is paining. Do you even know how many clicks you do in a day? Risky, what is your big guess about how many clicks do you think a person does in a day, or maybe in 1 hour?
Depend on project I handle, of course.
Okay,
So in one project of maybe about 100 more. Yeah, more
you
than
think so?
100, of course. Yeah,
Okay,
I don't know. Maybe you
okay.
have some
Yes,
research about that.
yes, I have. So this is okay. I'll just share my desktop. Do you see my desktop?
Yes.
Okay, on my desktop, I have got the software which is called Mousetron. Okay, so this Mousetron calculates the distance my mouse moves and all the clicks that I do. You see that? This is the left click. Then I
Oh.
can show you the right click, and then I can show you the middle click. Okay, so you can calculate the distance your mouse moves in a day. You can also, let's say, you can just go and reset counter, and then come in the morning, you switch on this counter, and then you start working, and then you see how many clicks you did. So in a day, usually what happens is most of the engineers end up clicking around 1,500 to 1,800 clicks per hour, which is close to almost close to um, 10,000 clicks per day. And 10,000 clicks is very dangerous for your wrist. So your wrist starts paining. So every engineer today says, my wrist is paining, my wrist is paining. But they don't know how to express it and they don't know why it is happening and so on. So this happens because of repetitive strain injury. So when you do an operation continuously throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, and throughout the year, you start getting wrist ache. And that is very bad for your health. So so when we were children, we were taught that if you work in a cement factory, you get a disease called asbestosis, where all the cement powder goes in your nose and you get a disease and your lungs start spoiling. But when you're working in a CAD department, you get RSI. And this problem doesn't go. It doesn't go just like that. It takes a long period for this problem to go. Because what happens is, see, because most of the mechanical engineers, they feel that, oh, we are strong. And they continue with the pain, they continue with the pain because this pain goes and comes back. It goes and comes back. It goes and comes back. But one day it just stay. It doesn't go. And the day it doesn't go, you have to meet a doctor.
Yes.
And when you meet the doctor will tell you, hey, you're not supposed to use the mouse for next 6 months. Now, what will you do as a design engineer if you cannot use a mouse? You're useless. Right? So
Yeah.
that is where 3D connection comes into picture, and this is one reason why all the people using CAD want to buy a SpaceMouse is because we are now taking all the efforts from the right hand and moving it to the left hand. And the left hand is based on sensor. It is not a physical motion. So if you look at the software, it can literally uh, adjust the speed of at which we are rotating the model and so on. I can just show you here.
Tadi yang pindah. Oh iya.
So here you can
Sorry.
adjust the speed, you can adjust the speed of rotation and so on. And this is a very ergonomic way of working because it comes with a wrist rest, it comes with everything. So this is something which is useful for the CAD industry. And the beauty of this is that our devices work for 10, 15 years. That's the beauty of our products. It is total German engineering. The German quality, the way it works is like you can, once you start using it, it will work for 10, 15 years at least. So that is how it is programmed. Now, for you to understand why this company came into existence is because it is a product from NASA. Okay, this is a product from NASA. So if you go to the 3D connection stories, it shows that the robotic arm in space was moved using this electronics. So this is the same electronics that is used by the astronauts. So the same thing is what is actually used to move the model in space. So this is, if you look at it, the car is in 3D space. So that is why all our products are called SpaceMouse Pro, SpaceMouse Compact, SpaceMouse Enterprise, SpaceMouse Pro Wireless, and so on. So the word space is coming because it comes from rocket
Oh,
science. So that is
Okay.
the, yeah, that is the whole idea why it is called space. And this model right now is in the 3D space. You see how it is controlling the model in 3D space. So this is exactly how it was controlling the robotic arm in space.
Mhm.
Okay, so that is how, so then 3Dconnexion went and showed this model to BMW, and BMW said, we want 3,000 units. And we said, okay, let's make a company. And that is how this company was born 30 years ago. So BMW was our first customer because they were using CATIA, and to control the CATIA model was very difficult. And then soon after BMW, Boeing and Airbus came in, and then they said, we want the same thing. And then it became a bigger company. And that's how the company was born.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so
Fascinating.
yeah, so what I'm trying to say over here is that all that you need, okay, and one more thing is there when you use a 3D connection product, and now this is very, I would say it is more of a psychological or more of a non-quantitative uh, benefit. So what people say is that when you use a 3D connection device, the quality of the work that you do improves. Okay. Now the question is how? The question is, how does the quality of the model improve when you are working with a 3D connection device? So the logic is we have two brains, right? You have the left brain and then you have the right brain. Now, most of us, as we are engineers, even me, I'm an engineer, I'm a mechanical engineer. So I am a left brain person and I always work with my right hand, right? Now, what is a function of the left brain? The function of the left brain is creativity, visualization, emotion, intuition, behavior, and all those things. And then you have the right, left brain. I'm sorry, the right brain. You know, the right brain controls the left hand and the left brain controls the right arm, right? So now you have your right brain, which is more to do with, I'm sorry, your left brain is to do with uh, engineering calculations, scientific definitions, historical methods, empirical methods, whereas your right brain, the right brain, which controls the left hand, has to do with visualization, emotion, intuition, behavior, and all those things. So now you put both the brain onto the model. So you're controlling the visualization, the emotion, the behavior, everything is happening with your left hand. And with your engineering brain, now you're looking at it and you're making decisions. So the chances of error detection is much higher because you're working with two brains put together to achieve a common task. That is where people say that when they start using a 3D connection device, they become very emotionally connected with the model because both your brains are working towards a common goal. You start working towards a common task. And that is where people say that, hey, you know what, when I start using a 3D connection device, I feel more connected with the model. And that is why once you become a 3D connection user, you will never be able to work without it because you're working with two hands. Right now, you have only one hand. So with a SpaceMouse, you have two hands. So just imagine, imagine if your one hand is tied back, how will you do all the work with just one hand? It is impossible. It makes you a lot non-productive. But the moment you realize that there is one more hand, you become a lot productive. You feel that, oh my God, this is the best way to work because any work that you do, you always do with two hands. Now, let's say, for example, this is a book, and if I'm always holding it with my left, the command is open with my right. Command is move page, which is right. Again, right hand. So left hand is always used for orientation. Let's say even if I'm putting a button on my shirt, simple. I'm positioning the hole with my left hand. With my right hand, I put the button. You see, every operation, the positioning is done with the left hand and the command is done with the right hand. So, but when it comes to CAD modeling, or let's say this is a pen, this is the simplest example of a mechanical component. This is a pen. If this falls and breaks into 5 pieces, how do I assemble it? You can see that the master assembly is always held in the left hand. The components are inserted with your right hand. Right hand does all the commands, and left hand does only the orientation. So the same way you start working with 2 hands when you start with a 3D connection device. So this is the concept of 3D connection, where you start working with 2 hands. You have 6 degrees of freedom. Your motions of the model is really fluid. It's beautiful. And then there is no stress of moving the model up and down, left and right, and you start working in a much more immersive sense. So that's the whole thing about using 3D connection. Now, having said that, you can also do certain things like when you have a 3D connection device, you can configure your frequently used commands like fit, your right angles, your front view, your top view, your bottom views, and so on. You can also create your favorite commands like this. Now, this is beautiful, okay? Now, as a student, when you are learning multiple softwares and stuff like that, you can create your radial menu with all your favorite commands, and you can program it and export it to various environment. Now, how to use this is it's beautiful. So the moment I press one button, I get all the commands that are important to me. And all I do is swipe the mouse on it and the command gets activated. See this? I swipe the mouse and the command gets activated. I just swipe the mouse and the command gets activated. Now, this is very useful when you're working in a company where you're working continuously on a project and all your favorite commands are there in that particular button, so that you can use it as and how and where you want it. And also what you can do is you can export all the settings that you have saved and take it to a um, different computer and start operating from that as well. So once you create a settings, you can take it to different computers and start working from there as well. So what I'm trying to say is, like, once you start using 3D connection, you will become a big fan of it um, in terms of connecting with the model, in terms of the way it moves, in terms of how comfortable you feel about using the model inside the software. And like I said, it is neutral. So it works the same way in NX, in Creo, in CATIA, in ZWCAD, in Rhino, in Inventor, in Fusion. Every software, it behaves the same. So this was a brief about 3D connection. Now I'll just go back to the presentation so that you uh, get to know a little bit about it. So what we were talking about here was the RSI, the repetitive strain injury, which can be eliminated by the use of a 3D connection. And we also have done multiple studies which says that using a 3D connection device can improve your productivity by around 28%, which means for every 100 hours of work that you put in a company or in your project, you can save 20 to 28 hours. And yeah, this is where the two-handed workflow productivity increase happens, where you start working with 2 hands and your number of clicks and the movement of your normal mouse is reduced by 62. It is a huge benefit for you as an individual, where you don't get the pain by clicking the mouse 100 times. So this can be eliminated. And fortunately or unfortunately, we are the only company which manufactures this kind of device. If you don't know what 3D connection is, then you don't know that this product exists. But now I'm sure there are like 420 students right now, and you all know that there is a product like this that exists. So we have multiple product lines. We have from the SpaceMouse Enterprise to the SpaceMouse Compact. So the SpaceMouse Enterprise is the top-notch product. Then we have the SpaceMouse Pro, which is used by thousands and thousands of engineers in the industry. Then we have the wireless and the compact. So these are the product line that we have, and we don't make anything else, just CAD engineers tools, perfect German engineering. This is all that we make. So, and yeah, I mean, if you talk about the customers, all big names, you name it, we are there. I mean, the names that are not here could be like a Toyota, um, n- you name it. We're there almost everywhere. We're there in literally thousands and thousands and thousands of companies. They use our product. I mean, there's literally no company, no large company that are not using our product. Almost everyone is using our products. These are just a few names. And yeah, so I am open for questions. I'd see some this on the chat. Can Yeah, I'm open to answering questions.
Yep, Sajesh, there is multiple questions from the
Yes,
our students here. So of course,
yes,
the first question is like of course I did reply to the students like how many DPI that can mouse available. So
7,200 DPI.
correct. Yep, it is. All right. So the second question is, whether our products can be competitors in Blender, software, Autodesk, Cinema 4D, which is yep, I did reply like yes, it is certified and it's compatible with our 3D connection, which means actually there's no any issue. Tak ada masalah semasa kita punya 3D connections products.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah.
actually I speak a bit of Malay because
Oh,
actually
okay.
actually I'm from Malaysia, so I can speak a bit of Malay. So at least I can gel with the team, with the students. All right. So okay, there's one question here. What sensor used in a 3D connection mouse?
It's an optical sensor.
Also, we know also sensor also consider when we choosing mouse. Not too sure. Do you understand about these questions?
What sensors? It's an optical
Yep.
sensor. As of now, sensors also consider when we choosing mouse. See, what we have, our kind of sensor is totally different when it comes to the way of choosing mouse. So what you're talking right now is about this mouse, right? But what I'm talking about is this mouse. There are 6 sensors inside this, and it is based on cutting off lights based on which the motion happens.
Okay.
Okay, so this sensor is totally different. It is a patented sensor. This is totally different kind of sensor. But what you're talking about is this one. This is an optical sensor.
Mm.
Okay, Christoph, did we answer your question? Maybe you can just reply yes or no.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your answer. I'm understand for that.
Okay. Thanks, Christoph.
Thanks. Right. Satish, next question is the mouse have dongle for wireless connection or only Bluetooth?
Okay, so this is beautiful. We are the only company that manufactures the mouse which is wired, wireless, and Bluetooth. Uh, our mouse, I mean, if you go, I'll just share my. It's important. I will just share my desktop. I'll just go to 3D connection. It's important to know this. It's a very important question. I'm happy that you asked. So if you look at our products, let's say the SpaceMouse Pro wireless, okay? So this, or maybe we can just go to the SpaceMouse entry level, okay? So that SpaceMouse wireless, okay? So here you can see that it is right now wireless, but at the same time, it also comes with a cable, which means to say that it can be charged. Okay. And it also means that it can be wirelessly connected through Bluetooth to the workstation. So this is the only mouse which is wired while it is charging. It is wireless once the charging is complete, and it is also Bluetooth.
Oh, yeah. How do we know that the software or computer we are using is compatible with 3D mouse? I think in the website there is a list of the software, right?
Yes. So the thing is, when you go here to softwares, you can see the list of all the softwares that are compatible with 3D Connection. So here you can see 203 applications, which covers almost all the softwares in the world.
Yeah.
Which means whichever software actually you find here, which means actually our product is I mean boleh guna kat dalam software ini.
Oh.
Means tak ada masalah semasa guna.
Okay, so in the future, what is the vision or innovation to help more engineers do their design more easily? So I think this is a very philosophical one, but I think engineers cannot be replaced. Engineers cannot be replaced. And see, I mean, I have seen softwares that are being because I worked in a software company before joining 3D Connection. We have worked on projects in which you can implement commands using sound, that is voice control. Okay, so for 3D Connection, our main purpose is to integrate with the software. But so our integration or our efforts stop as soon as we integrate with the software, and then we create like macros and radial menus and all these things to make the work faster. But I think more than that, if the software companies actually come up with a little more of integrations and stuff like that, like voice over commands and stuff like that, I think that could make work easier. But having said that, design is evolving. Over a period of time, you can see that the onus lies mainly on the software companies itself. So we have come up with, so what we are trying to do from our side is for 30 years, we have made only SpaceMouse. Okay, for 30 years, we made only SpaceMouse. So you have the SpaceMouse Enterprise, SpaceMouse Pro, SpaceMouse Wireless. In the last 7 years, we came up with CAD mouse. Okay. So here you can see the CAD mouse. And please remember, guys, this is the world's only left-hand asymmetric mouse. Okay, there is no mouse in the world which is asymmetric for the left-hand user. Okay, we are the only company that manufactures it for left-hand user. And after just 3 years ago, we came up with keyboard. So you see, we are actually evolving with the CAD needs, but again, we are still a peripherals company, and we keep evolving as and when the industry keeps moving forward. So you can do a lot of customization and things like that here.
Yes. So this keyboard looks light. How many grams?
I think this is I think it should be around at least 500 grams, I guess. Let us check. It's a good question. Let's go to the keyboard. Oh yeah, we are in the
Because
keyboard.
I have the SpaceMouse actually once, and it's heavy.
Yeah,
The SpaceMouse is heavy, so I don't take it for traveling, because for traveling baggage it counted, right?
okay. So this is 880 grams, almost a kilo.
Oh, okay, almost 10.
Yeah. So the space mouse that you're using is the small one or the other Pro?
The small one, wireless.
Oh, okay, the small one wireless. Okay. Then because that is the lightest one we have.
Oh, really? Okay.
because when I travel, I travel with 6 of this.
Okay. So the same question,
Yeah.
from Chanchalis Junior.
Cantonese, yep. You're asking, yeah, how many gram for the cat mouse compare? I mean, yeah, how many grams for the mice? I mean, our cat mouse.
Okay,
So
so
perhaps, yeah.
yeah, so this is 800 grams. So if you go to the SpaceMouse series, let's say the smallest one that we have is
That one.
oh, you have
Nine,
this one.
96
Yeah.
grams.
No, this is 480 grams.
Oh, okay.
That's like almost like half a kg. Yeah. But the benefits are too high, so there's no problem. You can literally carry it anyway, because this is something which when you start working with it, you see a lot of benefits, and then you say that, hey, you know what, I just cannot live without it. So let me just carry it. Can you explain
Yeah.
how using a 3D mouse is in virtual reality environment improves your interaction and overall user experience compared to conventional input device? So what happens in so when you're talking about virtual reality, are you talking about the VR? Is it the VR? Is it the VR that you're mentioning in the virtual reality environments?
Mohammed? Yes.
Okay, yes, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, now see, now what is happening is there is a concept of VR which is which is now explained to everyone. Okay, now what happens with VR is very important. In this virtual reality, what you're wearing is you're wearing a mask, you're wearing a goggle, and you can see everything suspended in air. And you are given 2 guns as a control, and then you move the guns, and then you can point and you can do multiple things. Please remember that these are only review tools. Okay, they are review tools. They are not tools where you can work for 2 hours or 3 hours, because when you work for 2 hours or 3 hours, your hand has to be rested. You cannot keep working like this with your hand suspended. Okay, that is the biggest problem that the ergonomic person will face. I mean, you will feel an ergonomic problem when it comes to VR. You can do this for maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but after 30 minutes your hand get tired and you just cannot do anything. So VR is a tool which is used for reviews, but when you want to work, it can be a 3D connection. So we are not competing with VR. We are not competing in the segment, and neither we are improving nor we are what do you say, decreasing the productivity of VR. We are totally 2 different entities. Okay, so the only place where I have seen the VR where 3D connection is integrated was with Caterpillar. So Caterpillar had a huge room. In the room, the model was suspended, but instead of using the 2 guns, they were using the SpaceMouse to control the model in VR. But when you have to actually move and point, again, the person had to take the gun and try to point and all those things. So the integration is still not great. But what I feel is that 3D connection is for working, for people who work for 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 5 hour, 8 hours, 10 hours, because you're rested, your hand is on gravity, and then you start working. Whereas in VR, it is very good, but only for reviews. You cannot work with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Did I answer your question,
Yeah, I think
Mohammed?
it means yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Any more
Okay, next
questions
question.
yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay, if we found that if we found the software, we use the software, but it's not compatible yet with the 3D mouse. Can we propose to maybe your technical to
Yes.
make a script, something like that?
Yes, absolutely. So here, if you go to 3D connection at the bottom, we have something called as uh, developer software.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Mhm.
when you go to developer software, you have two options. One is to tell us to develop, or you can develop it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is very important. So now students, please understand that 3D connection is just a technology. Okay. What we deliver is in the form of plastic. Okay. This is a high quality plastic is what we deliver. But the smartness is inside the software.
Mm.
Okay, the software can be downloaded and you can use it for any project like controlling a robot, controlling a drone with 6 degrees of freedom. You can control maybe a submarine. You can control anything with this particular software. So if you have a vision or you have a project which needs 6 degrees of freedom, you can download the software and implement it in your project. It's a very simple code.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any question? I think most of participant here is not the existing user, right? So is there when is there any way how to train ourselves to use the mouse
Yes. So
before jump into the software itself?
perfect. So we always recommend that there should be a training before we start using the software. So what happens is when you install the drivers of 3D connection, you end up getting this home page. All right. So in the home page, you have a trainer. So you have three things. One is the trainer, then the viewer, and the demo. So we say start this for 20 minutes, do this for 10 minutes, and do this for 20 minutes. So literally in 1 hour, you become a very, very good user of 3D connection. So this is simple. So I just show you how this works is, so here you do an up and down. So you learn how to move the model up and down. Here you move it left and right. Then you move it in and out. So you realize what you're doing. So you start with this, okay, rotate, and then you do a tilt, and then you do a roll. So once you understand this thing, the next thing that you do is you play a game. So you have to match this kettle with that. So it's like this. So if you don't match, that means you have not learned uh, how to control the model. Okay.
Yeah.
So this should come under 30 seconds. So if it comes under 30 seconds, means you're very good. Okay, so till it comes under 30 seconds, you're supposed to keep practicing, keep practicing. So Risky, one very important thing which I tell engineers is that here we are not talking about engineering. We're not talking about CAD. We're talking about muscle memory. It's all about muscle memory. It is like swimming. It is like riding a bicycle. It's like riding a motorbike. It's like driving a car. So 3D connection is just muscle memory. It is not about engineering or CAD. Then what we do is we ask you to control the model using this viewer. Okay, so in the viewer you get a model, and then we want you to control it this way flawlessly. It should be like beautiful. Okay,
Yeah.
once you control this, then we say now start playing with two hands. Okay, so now you take two hands.
Two
So
hands.
here, yeah, not two hands. So we are going to now, where is it? Okay, it's coming. So here what we do is we start assembling. So you see, I start working with two hands. So with my left hand, I'm moving the model, and with the right hand, I'm clicking.
Okay.
So this is the training method. So once anybody who has a 3D connection device undergoes this thing, he automatically learns how to use the device. So that is no much training which is required. You see that?
Yeah. This is video or you're
No, no,
using
no,
your
no, no.
mouse?
I'm using both.
Oh, okay.
No, this is not video.
Cool.
It looks like
Cool.
video, right? So eventually you start working like video. And trust me, I'm not
Yeah.
a great and trust me, I'm not a great user of 3D connection because I always feel the younger generation adopts very fast as compared to senior guys. Okay, so here when you actually see, you can see the distance my mouse moved and the time it took and so on. So you can see that every time you do this task, you become better and better and better. And then once this is complete, then we say, okay, now open annex. And
Mhm.
then everything you did there works the same way here.
Mm.
Or you open any software, it starts working the same way. So this is how the training happens, Risky.
Okay, understood. Yeah. Thank you, Sajas, for the explanation.
Perfect.
Okay.
Is there any other question? I'm really happy to answer, okay? Please ask me. I'm really happy.
There is a question. How long did it
If
take you to get
I
you?
wonder if 3D Connection will hold offline promotions in Indonesia in the future because I want to see a live demonstrations. Okay, so we can definitely think of it. We like the feedback. We will definitely try to do some promotions in Indonesia.
No worry, Neosia can help.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, Mohammed, see what happens is 3D Connection is a 30-year-old company, and we literally have thousands and thousands and thousands of companies which are actually using it for a long time. So you don't have to worry. Once you buy the product or once you have the product, you will definitely love it because it is a standard, and everybody uses it because it does only three things. Like it does navigation, it does productivity improvement, it does ergonomics, and these are the three things which every engineer wants. And we just give it to you. And since this is a hardware, you keep it in China, you keep it in India, you keep it in US, or you keep it in Germany, it will deliver the same result. You press one button, like if you press fit button, only fit will come, right? Nothing else will come. If you press R, right view. If you press F, front view. If you press T, top view. Whichever software it is, it will always do the same thing. There's nothing else it will do. There is no magic, okay? Please remember, I'm doing it fast and all those things, but I'm not doing any magic. This is exactly how a person in the industry works. It's nothing more
Yeah.
than that. Perfect. Another
Yeah.
question. How fragile are the SpaceMouse, and does it require extra care and maintenance for longer lifespan? Well, I always say that a space mouse is like the fan. You know the fan which is there in the house? Do you have
Yeah.
fans in Indonesia? Okay. So in India, a fan has got the highest life among electronics because my father put the fan when my brother was just born, and the fan is still working.
Hmm.
It is 35 years. So
Yes.
we say that 3D connection is also something similar where it just has got a very, very long life,
Yeah.
especially the wired products. The wireless product has got a shorter lifespan. It might go for maybe 5 years or 6 years, but the wired product has got infinite life because it works based on sensor, and that is absolutely no this. And trust me, these are like really you can see they are like really strong products, and the most important thing is that they are space worthy. That means to say that if the astronauts had the courage to take it to space, that means the products are strong,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you because you cannot come down every now and then and go back to the space right after doing some service. Don't worry, these are pretty strong. When I see promotion video, I see that available also for 2D design. Can you demonstrate it, and what's the different field? So you mean to say if I make a 2D out of it? Will that help? So okay, I'm not a very big design engineer, but I will just try to create a 2D out of it. Okay, I'm just trying to create a 2D out of this, and I say apply. Now, did something happen? Okay, there's something. Yeah, okay, something is happening. Finish. Okay, so now we have a 2D, and now you can see how it behaves in 2D. So I'm using it with the SpaceMouse. So you see the zoom, pan, rotation all starts working the same way. Only thing, rotation is not there. So your zoom pan is now combined into a single motion. You see that? And then again, when it comes to shortcuts and stuff like that, you can put in your favorite commands. Like I'll show you how easy it is to put commands. So you can go to your 3Dconnexion properties, and once you go to the properties, you can see that when you go to buttons, I'll show you how easy it is. So when you go to buttons, it says NX. Here, see, oops. NX drafting, then you can create your own radial menu. Like let's say I'll create radial menu, test Indonesia. Let's say we can create some commands like line, and I'm just trying to create, okay. What would be the tell me some command names so that we can put
in the right place at the right time. I'm proud to set the stage.
let's say line.
Turn all of my stuff. Please welcome the longest serving commissioner in the history of the NYPD, Francis Xavier Reagan.
Something, okay.
Okay.
You can go up to 8 commands or 4 commands, and then I say save, and this is test Indonesia. And then what happens is when I go to, oops, okay. So now I say close, and when I press button number 1, you can see the commands which I created.
Okay.
So you can
Nice.
do this. You can do the same thing for NX. You can do it for CATIA. You can do it for SolidWorks. You can do it for ZWCAD. You can do it for Inventor. You can do it for Fusion. So you can decide what commands you want, and by swiping the mouse on that, you can invoke the line command. You see that from there to there, there to there.
Sure idea of apology.
So does that answer the question?
How? Gimana yang bertanya? Answer your question.
Ada
Okay.
soalan lagi?
Perfect.
Okay.
So is there any other question? I think there's one more in the chat, I guess. Oh, no problem, no problem, absolutely. The mouse have so many features. The macro is really help for drafting and design. I hope I can try the mouse 100%. Yes,
Yeah.
it has got a lot of macro functions as well. You can.
So, suggest actually I have an old SpaceMouse. It's
Okay.
about 10 years old, but
It
it's not
still works.
compatible yet.
No, it still works. What is the
Really?
name? Yeah. What is the name of the mouse?
S- SpaceMouse, of course. It's like yours, but it is the old one. I purchased
Okay.
in Singapore actually. I
Okay. So
purchased
what?
in Singapore,
Perfect. So
and
what?
but there is no driver, no
No.
driver
Okay.
for
I'll show you. I'll show you. Go to support of
yes.
3D connection and let's say go to.
Actually, I want to use it with my with the SketchUp, but
Okay. Yeah.
I think the problem is in the SketchUp side. That's not developing again for that.
No. SketchUp is already integrated here. See.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you need to do is, you need to just upload the latest driver. It will work.
Yeah.
Is it
Okay.
the SpaceMouse Is it the SpaceMouse Explorer?
Yeah. SpaceMouse. Yeah. I think there is Explorer words there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it will work with the latest driver.
Okay.
So all
Yeah.
you have to do is download the driver. It will still
Mhm.
work. Like I said, it's like a ceiling fan.
Okay, we'll talk later about that. Okay. We have still 20 minutes left.
Sure.
Yeah.
Does in the future your product have some opportunity to full replace the normal mouse or even the keyboard also? Well, we believe that we should not replace the normal mouse because our concept, our foundation is work with two hands. Okay. So when
Yeah.
you work with two hands, we don't want to replace because otherwise it is ergonomically not correct to replace and move everything to one side. So first you're doing one with right hand side. Now you do everything with left hand side. That might not be ergonomically correct. But replacing the keyboard, so if you look at it, we don't want to do that also because we want to be in an ergonomic position. Okay, so otherwise what happens is you start working like this, or you start working like this, or you start working like this. So this, if you look at the symmetry of a human being, so this way you have to work with your mind on the monitor, your right hand on the mouse and the left hand on the SpaceMouse. And then there is a whole combination of all the things that actually put together. So I don't think so. We will not, so we have our own keyboard, but we will not replace a keyboard because there are a lot of typing work that has to be done, like commas are there, full stop is there, arrow is there, dollar sign, rupee sign, euro sign, percentage, all these things will be difficult.
Mhm.
It is not worth it. It doesn't add value.
Okay. Yeah. Understand. So, okay, I think for the last chance, maybe you can explain the promotion that going on.
Sure. There's one question. I'm curious about the mouse, not the SpaceMouse. What other function does it besides the middle click? Sorry for joining late. Okay, so I will just tell you the functions of the normal mouse. So what happens is, uh, let's say, okay, I'll have to. So what happens is we have the quick zoom function. You see what happens is by pressing one button, I can literally zoom in and zoom out on a model. And on the CAD mouse, again, I have the compatibility or I have the potential to put the radial menu. And the most important thing which actually you missed out is you said that other than the middle mouse button. Now, it's very important to understand why this CAD mouse is important. Okay, it is important because of the middle mouse button itself, because the pressure that you put on the roller is 8 Newton and the pressure you put on the button is 1 Newton. So every time you press the roller is equal to pressing the button 8 times. That is the most important function of the 3-button mouse. Okay, so that is where your pain in your wrist goes, because every time you press the roller right now, you're putting 8 Newton versus 1 Newton. Got it? So that is a very important feature that we consider while designing the cat mouse. Perfect. Now, since Rizky, you said that I'll do one thing. I will now stop sharing and give access
Yes.
to Yen so that she can actually share the QR code with all the students.
Sajid, hey, hey, you guys can see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm-
yeah, good. Yeah, of course. Thank you so much, Sajid, for explaining and then provide all these kind of awesome presentations and doing demo to the students. All right. Of course, yeah, we do have a lucky draw events. But of course, the winner announcement will be after your Raya, after your festive season. So of course, like yeah, for students from mechanicals, manufacturing, can scan the QR code here, and for architecture and constructions, students can scan the QR code here. So of course, we will be selecting one winner from each of the category, and the prizes on, and of course you will stand a chance to win the prizes up to 400, close to 400 million rupiahs prize of worth, which is SpaceMouse compact wireless.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I think it's a nice opportunity for all the students to probably one from mechanical and one from architecture will get the SpaceMouse. So please make sure you scan this code. Mechanical guys scan the first one, which is there on the top, and the architectural guys who are actually using Rivet and SketchUp and all these things can scan the one at the bottom, and we will definitely send you one device.
Yeah, yeah. So I think there is some professional attend here. Is there any deals for them also? If you have,
Sure. We can definitely work out something for the professionals and send it across probably by the next time. So soon after Raya holidays, we can definitely come back with a nice proposal for everyone. But
okay.
because we really love Indonesia, because this is the first time we're doing an event. I met Rizky just in January, and then see, we are already in April, and then we're talking to so many students, and we will keep our efforts on for the entire student community and the professional community in Indonesia.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so I think it's I will put the link if you have some difficulties to scan. You can just click the link that I put in the comment. Jadi teman-teman yang masih kesulitan untuk scan QR code-nya, silakan yang bisa klik di sini untuk yang mechanical. Kemudian yang untuk arsitektur, sorry. Bisa klik di situ ya. Oke, hope this help. Oke.
Ada apa soalan untuk saya?
So, teman-teman ada yang mau bertanya dengan misian? Mengenai promosi, mengenai promonya atau apa namanya, lucky draw-nya? Mungkin ada yang mau ditanyakan? Mungkin pada saat mengisi ya, when you fill the form, you have difficulties to fill some fields maybe. So what you do? Okay. Tidak ada? Yeah, our student is clever already.
Yep, it's very smart. It's very smart. Can we get cup price from 400,000 rupiah to 1 rupiah?
We will ask the government of Indonesia to do that. See, because the biggest problem that we actually face is the tax.
Mhm.
It's huge. The tax which is collected is huge. So no worries. So whatever best we can do from our side, we will definitely do it.
Mhm.
Oke.
Ya, mungkin Riza scan itu QR code sini, dia mungkin akan menang satu prize ke?
Ya, kalau mau yang gratis, isi formnya.
Mhm.
Ya, diisi formnya. Okay. So, if there's no question from you guys,
Mhm.
teman-teman kalau tidak ada pertanyaan lagi, so maybe there's a closing statement from you, Sajas and Yan, please. We
Oh,
want
yeah,
to close.
perfect. Yeah, perfect. So first of all, yeah, thank you so much, Risky, once again. The count was like, I was just looking at the count, it just dropped now, but then, yeah, it was around, it went to close to 420 students who
Mm.
participated at one time. And we're really happy that we had an opportunity to educate the students that these products exist. We as a company, we will be committed to the students community in Indonesia. We will make sure that whatever best possible from our side is done, because obviously, like I said, this is not like a software where we can give a soft copy to every single students. I would love to do it if it was possible, but
Yeah.
this is hardware. It has to be manufactured, it has to be brought in, it has to be imported, and lot of taxes and lot of shipment costs. All these things makes our product a little expensive. But whatever
Mm.
possible from our side, we will definitely do it for you and for your students. And our commitment for your students will definitely be there. And having said that, I will also take this opportunity to inform the students that if they are working on a Formula student team in their university, they can get in touch with us and see what we can offer. And we will see what we can offer the student team in the university. Okay, so
Okay.
we have before the meeting, you showed the video of the Monaco team, which was actually building uh, the the solar
Mhm.
boat. Then we had the Korean team, which was building a car. So if students in the university are building something, we will definitely want to participate with the student formula team along with you and your company, yeah, with the team, so that we can help more students. We can make sure that they are exposed to the new technology which the world is using. So we will do our best, whatever possible from our side, to make our technology and make our product available to all the students through you.
Okay. Okay,
So,
thank you.
and I take this opportunity to thank each and every student who are actually here, who have taken your very important Friday time out to be part of this thing. We appreciate and we hope that we'll be able to continue to contribute to the students community in Indonesia. Thank you so much for your time.
Yep. It's really appreciate that.
Yeah.
We still drop out, is it? I guess we still drop.
Yeah, and then he's
Eh,
unmute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's on. Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. I will take a leave then.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll keep in touch.
Okay, thank you, Sajas, for the closing.
Thank you so much.
Maybe next time, we can invite the university for the event like this, so
Yeah.
they will benefit from the technology also. So for
Absolutely.
everyone, untuk teman-teman yang mau gabung di grup 3D Connection untuk dapat update informasi, if you want to get the update information, you can click the link for joining the WhatsApp group. So maybe later, if there is a promotion or new product, or maybe the event like this, you will inform. Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. So,
Perfect.
Sajas,